Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to my Ease Origin Yunica Any tips and tricks for speedrunning. These are going to be just kind of a collection of tech and just general things that I've learned through various sources from running the game. None of these tricks are, I didn't come up with any of them, and various videos and tutorials do exist kind of scattered about the internet. Some of these I found on YouTube, some of them in the Ease Speedrunning Discord, some of them have been, questions that have been answered by other Origin speedrunners, and some things I just kind of figured out through trial and error. So I just wanted to cover some of the things you'll see in a speedrun of this game for again, Yunica Any I won't cover the route or anything like that. That can be pretty easily, ascertained from watching videos, VODs of other people running the game or my own run. So let's get into it right from the beginning. So after the big intro cutscene, we'll start here at the base of the tower. There are going to be a couple things to note. One of the most important things that I discovered late is in the options menu here. There's a setting that is use analog as digital. We typically want this off, and I'll get into why a little bit later. There's a couple points in the game that you may want to enable it, specifically for doing the amber door skip. I find it easier to do with the analog stick. However, I want it to behave as a D-pad, so I want it to be digital in that case. But otherwise, we want that off. Double tap the dash doesn't really matter because we're also going to enable always dash once able. Yeah, everything else here is pretty good. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the tower here. And a couple things about Unica's tech. So let's start with why we want that analog not to behave like a D-pad. So you can see Unica's run speed is fairly fixed right now. If we run against a wall on our right side, if you get the angle just, not quite parallel, but just kind of inward towards the wall, Unica's speed will drastically increase. Let's see if we can kind of show that off here. Yeah, down here is pretty good when you get it. So you can kind of see my joystick, and let's see if we can hit it. Yeah, you can see once you hit it, she just speeds up rapidly. So general movement tech, you want to kind of run along walls where it makes sense to. Again, on Unica's right side. So depending on which direction you're going, it's, as you circle, you just kind of want to use these walls to your advantage. It can be hard to find the precise angle, and for this tutorial I'm actually using a different joystick that I'm used to, so the angle is slightly different. Again, it's going to depend on your D-pad and everything. Another thing to note, and this is mostly for mouse keyboard players, it's very difficult to pull off on a controller consistently, but you'll notice when you attack with Yunica that she has several different attack animations. So she's got a couple slashes and hacks and everything. If you attack and then press a direction and then attack and direction, you can repeat whatever one you're on. Oop, too much delay. Too much delay again. So you can see sometimes I'm doing the same animation twice. It's really hard to do with a controller consistently, and it doesn't really serve a whole lot of purpose in the run. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, I can only get it a couple times consistently. There you go. There's a couple right there. The biggest time it comes into play is during the fight against Epona. If you're able to do that consistently and at a constant speed and pace, you can stun lock her and just win the battle that way. Otherwise, you'll have to just fight her like normal. Again, not planning to cover boss strats or anything, but that is a piece of tech to note. Alright, so now we'll get into some of the actual things for the run. As we start the run off, we want to kind of get a little bit of experience, take a couple hits. We want to actually build our boost gauge, because we are going to need it to skip over the raising the platforms coming up here. This should be fairly obvious from watching a video, but the next trick that I want to cover is less so obvious, and it's right after skipping that. So we're going to go ahead and just get our boost here and just kind of start the game like normal, and then I'm going to skip around through some save files. Alright, so we'll pick up our wind power here. Okay, and once we get that, we're going to go ahead, jump up the stairs, activate our boost, and I switched to D-pad for this. Oh, whoops, oh gosh, goodness gracious, I'm going to have to start this all over, aren't I? Alright, yeah, so I like to skip to D-pad for this, just so I, yeah, there we go. So you just kind of jump and spam it. If you're using the analog, you have a tendency to want to go slightly diagonal, and if you go too diagonal, you'll either hit the wall or you just won't have enough distance to cover the gap. So usually as I jump, I switch to D-pad just so I can maintain a consistent direction. Alright, so now getting into the first less obvious trick of the run. There is a guide for this. I want to say it might have been Alectorn that posted it a while ago on YouTube, but it's very difficult to find. So we're going to go ahead and skip this door here. So you can do it on either side, and the trick is basically walk up to the door, walk left or right into the corner, and you want to press the jump key, the wind magic key, and up. And you want to do that all within about a frame of each other. So we're just going to do jump, wind, up. Oop. Try it again. Without hitting start this time, huh? Try it this time. There we go. So it can be a little finicky sometimes, and it doesn't always take. So just keep trying it. Usually when you get here, you'll still have your boost active, so you'll be able to recover that magic pretty quickly. So again, we're gonna do jump, wind, and up as fast as you can. And we go right through. Excellent. And now we're going to skip in and get into Rico's room. So first we're going to kill a couple bats. Usually you want to do this for level routing anyway, so you'll go ahead and get your level here. Otherwise they just kind of get in your way. Alright, cool. So normally we need the, I think it's the Mask of Eyes or Mask of Truth to see the hidden wall here to get through this door. But as it turns out, walls in this game are very much a suggestion. So the way to line yourself up for this is to run along into the corner here. You can do a down, so jump and then down attack, and that'll kind of normalize your position. And then you just want to hold up left. I usually, again, use the D-pad for this, so just up left, and you'll walk right through the wall, and then you can walk right through the door. It's that easy. Probably should have skipped this cutscene and just not triggered it, but yeah. So once this plays out, we'll jump ahead. So for the rest of the doors here in this first area, you can just use that jump, wind, and up. We'll use it again at the very end to kind of clip just before the boss fight. You can also use it on the door that leads out to where the Rue is, where you'll pick up your Cleria ore. Most people don't do that though, because if you don't get it on the first try, it really doesn't save any time over just hitting the switch. Yeah. Alright, cool. So now that we've done that, really, the next bit of the game is almost entirely just kind of vanilla, right? So, aside from that one skip, you're just, again, you're going to want to use you know, the walls as best you can to gain run speed. Yeah, you can see when I get the angle, she just kind of picks up. Okay, so once you get into the flooded prison, that whole area basically is vanilla. You just kind of rush through it, take out the bosses. There are a couple of skips. They should be fairly obvious, but I'll talk about them anyway. So we'll get into flooded prison. The first one here, you just want to kind of jump off, go diagonal down, and then diagonal up left, and you'll clear that wall without having to worry about it. One common mistake that I make, or used to make, is I would come into this room and just have a tendency to want to charge my wind attack, and if you do that, you're far less likely to make it. You can see I just kind of bonk. So you want to come in without the wind being held, just diagonal down and up, and you're good. Very simple. Gosh, I don't really think there's anything else that you really skip on this one. I guess there is. There is one other thing. So let's go ahead and... do I have a good save for it? I don't think I have a good save for it. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and get the dash pickup so that we have our run speed, and then I'll teleport back. Oh, well, yeah, it helps if I hit the wind the second time, huh? Oh my goodness. Alright, yeah, don't do that, guys. So much for a tutorial video, huh? This is probably going to take me a couple tries to record, I think. Oh my goodness. I'm not going diagonal enough, I don't think. Gosh. There we go. Yeah, so you can see some of the things you might run into when you first start running this game. Okay, so we're gonna get our silver bracelet, so we get our run speed. Okay, and then we're gonna go back to Flooded Prison. And you can see that run speed along the walls still comes into play, and it actually makes a huge difference in the overall time of the run. So you want to try to use that to your advantage. This is another spot where the skip looks fairly obvious until you try to do it, and you realize that you kind of have a tendency to bonk a lot. So kill these guys, get them out of our way. Alright, so what we want to do is just use our whirlwind 2-3 times to get over here. But if you jump kind of even off center, you tend to bonk that. So to line myself up, I usually just kind of run along this, jump, and then win twice, and you get right over. That's kind of it for tech for Flooded Prison. Guilty Fire is kind of another one that there's actually not a ton of tech for. Let's Hugo. Let's see. Do I have Guilty Fire too? Easy. Good. Okay. Yeah. So when you get back from all your cutscenes and you get your sword, the game wants you to go over here and light this torch. You absolutely don't have to. I tend to, because if you miss this, you'll lose a good chunk of time. But you can just jump down here and whirlwind over here without hitting that torch. Then just switch over and activate that guy. And that's the only one you really need to activate. You'll drop down and get your topaz down there. But then you just go right around there as well. Again, we're going to try to use our walls wherever we can. There's not really anything to talk about through this area here. Really, the next thing in Guilty Fire is the Construct's Chamber. So this door doesn't seem like anybody really truly understands why and how you can clip through it. Mouse and keyboard players have kind of a specific spot up on the pillar that they'll aim their cursor while running. But even then, it just kind of seems like a YOLO. I have my own superstitions. It really doesn't have any, guarantee of success or anything. But I'll save at the statue here, reload, just to kind of normalize everything. Run over a little bit, run straight up, and I'm using the D-pad for this. Then I'll run diagonal again, D-pad, and then we're just going to start jump wind, activate our boost, and then just keep jump winding until you either run out of magic or you clip through the door. If you run out of magic, then you can reload the save and try again. Ideally, you'll get it like kind of first try. But yeah, there really isn't a consistent setup for this door. It's just kind of a brute force. So yeah, we'll 1, 2, jump, wind, boost. And it's not playing nice today. Oh, okay, there we go. First try. Didn't even have to boost. So you can see I didn't really do anything different. It just let me through that time. So if I go back, we'll do it again. You know, I just kind of run over, jump wind. It's not a height thing. It's not when you activate the wind. It just sometimes decides, okay, you can go through. It sometimes just decides to not be a door. And again, you don't have to use the D-pad or anything. You can do this with the thumbstick. You can try to angle your thumbstick towards that pillar to mirror what the mouse and keyboard players do if you're doing that. But it really doesn't. It really doesn't matter. This door just does what it wants. Yep. See? Sometimes it just lets you through. Good game. Alright, so now we're going to get into Silent Sands. This is where the run and the game actually gets really interesting, because we get our double jump. So we're going to go ahead and run over here. Should be using the walls. Yeah, I'm going to run into stuff because I'm not taking my usual route. Good, perfect. Up here is another spot where I actually will switch to D-pad on my run just, again, to keep the angle because it's such a narrow bridge. And we're just going to whirlwind over here. If you're just starting out the run and you don't want to go for the amber door clip, and we'll talk about that shortly, but if you don't want to go for the amber door clip, then what you'll do is you'll come out here and you'll jump down a whirlwind 3-ish times. So you'll start by whirlwinding down left and then kind of roll your thumb to the left to get at the chest. I'm probably going to dunk this because I haven't done it in a while, but let's try it. Oh, I wasn't far enough. Yeah, so yeah, so you want to grab that. If you're not going to go for the amber door clip. If you are, you will not need that that item. Oh, gosh. It's almost seeming like I may have to do this in segments so I can clean up a little bit here. Let's try this again. I'll try one more time. And you can do this with a D-pad as well. You do want to let your wind magic regenerate if you are going to go over there. There you go. So yeah, the evil ring is required if you're going to be doing Rado's Annex. If you're skipping it by skipping the Ember Door, you will not need the evil ring at all. So you can just leave it on the table here. Which is good because, as you saw, I tend to miss that jump. So, good game. Alright, so now we're just going to jump back over here. This was not immediately obvious to me either, and this is where I actually learned about this use analog as digital being a problem, because when I first started running, I had that enabled, probably for my casual playthrough. It just, you know, it didn't dawn on me that there would be any considerations. So if you do that, you'll notice I'm just kind of jumping along the wall here. Okay, cool. You know? So let me turn that off, and now, if you find the right angle, you'll see Yunica starts getting even more height. See how she's getting more height against that? So you just want to find the right angle, just kind of up towards the slope there. And you can also attack once and it'll help you get up there. You don't really need to attack. You can get up there even without it, but if you attack, it just gets her just a little bit more height. Now on these icy slopes, this is all just kind of about building momentum. So you'll see if I just try to run against it, I lose speed. So what you do is you just kind of jump, attack, jump, attack, jump, attack, and she'll just keep building speed. Just like that. Now for these guys are actually really dangerous in a run. If these bombs hit you, they do massive damage. So the goal, you know, obviously just try to clear these guys. Use the upper ledge here for some safety. Ugh. I don't think I have a save that already has the double jump. At least not here. So we want to kill these guys. Oh, we died. Alright, cool. We're gonna go ahead and just load a different one that already has the double jump. Good game. So this should be after Rado's Annex is done. Yeah. We're gonna do this for reasons. Alright, cool. So we got our double jump. Now let's talk about the double jump, right? Let's see. Do I have one? I feel like I have one that has it somewhere. Let me see. Maybe this one? Yeah, okay. So this one already has it. Alright, cool. So we have our double jump. When you get double jump, a technique was discovered that lets you triple jump, and this has actually been known for quite a long time, and there are, I don't know, there's a couple videos out there on it. You'll see people doing it in the runs. It took me kind of watching a lab video to understand kind of how it works and how to actually perform it. So at the base of it, what you're going to do is you're going to jump and attack, but you have to be moving in a direction, right? So if you just jump attacks while standing still, you get this kind of whirlwind attack. We don't want that. So let's jump, let's run into this wall here. So you want to jump and attack. You want kind of this hack, the little slash like that. That's the one you want to see. So jump attack, jump attack. You want to hit them, you want to hit jump first, and then you kind of want to hit the attack within a couple frames of that. It's not frame perfect by any means. You can do the attack a little bit later and still pull this off, but it just makes everything a lot more consistent. So I generally just kind of use 2 fingers for this. I'll use my middle finger to hit the jump, and then my pointer finger for the attack. So jump attack. Now, it is possible to hit them at the same time and you'll get a different attack. So if you hit them simultaneously, you'll hear that kind of lower whooshing attack. That's not the one you want. You want this one. Yeah. Good, not good. Right? So the first step is to be running against a wall or just running in direction. Either work, as long as you're moving. And then jump attack. Then about 20 to 22 frames later, you want to hit jump and attack simultaneously now, not staggered. So you want to hit, jump attack, and then jump and attack, and then you want to just kind of spam jump attack after that to get the third jump. So let's see if we can get the second jump here. So we'll do jump attack there. So that's the double jump with another attack. So you'll see jump attack, jump attack. So the animation we want to see is where she kind of swings that axe diagonal like she just did. So not that, not that, nope, that. So that's the right animation. We don't need to wait to see that though. Once we hit our jump attack simultaneous input, we can just hit it again and again and see if we can get the triple. So. There you go. Okay, there's one. Gosh, that took a lot longer than I expected to get. I am a little rusty at this, and again, I am using a different controller than usual. But I just wanted to share that off a little bit, so... Yeah, there's a triple jump. So we can use that to get all sorts of height and skip, all sorts of doors and stuff like that. Boss triggers, you name it. Once we have that, the game is very broken. So the other thing I want to note about that, this particular thing is, for whatever reason, the PC version of Ys Origin actually runs at a very inconsistent frame rate. If I show my frame rate on here, you'll see it kind of pegged at 60, but it tends to fluctuate just enough that even if you input all the timings and everything for these perfectly, it may still not execute the triple jump. So it is inconsistent. It's one of those things that it's going to take practice before you get, able to do it, but it's going to just also take kind of stubbornness to keep trying until you get one. Yeah, there you go. A couple things to note is, in terms of feedback, if you do your second jump Yep, that's the right one. If you do your second jump and you get that downward slash again, that means that your jump attack was input too late. If you do it too early, you just won't get the second jump. She'll just swing in place. I found it's better to err on the too soon side. You tend to hit the triple jump input a lot better. So just try to adjust your timing on that until you can get that swing. Yeah. Yeah, this is going swimmingly, isn't it? There we go. Cool. Yeah. So again, knowing that, we can skip a lot of triggers and bosses and things like that. You can also combine that with the wall run to get even more height, and that's actually how the original Zava skip worked. Before the next thing that I'm going to show off, in order to skip Zava, you had to kind of run along a wall. You had to like start the triple jump going down the stairs and then switch. I have never pulled this off successfully, but I know other runners have. So, but basically, you kind of get that wall run momentum as you're going down to get the extra height boost, and then you switch it up and do your triple jump up over the Zava skip or the trigger for Zava. It's not really needed at any point in the run anymore, thanks to the next thing that I'm going to show off, which is, now that we have triple jump, we can also quadruple jump. So this is the same inputs, except now when we input the second jump, when we go to that second jump with the diagonal there, we want to pause the game and swap our weapon over to the Crimson Sword. So let's see if we can get it here. So we'll go 1, 2. Okay, so we got the animation. So you see, kind of as soon as I did the second one there, I paused the game. You don't really want to wait to see the full animation, otherwise it's going to be too late. You want to kind of just YOLO it and kind of assume that you're going to get it, and then the pause screen will come up. If you see as you're pausing the game that you didn't get it, you can just close the menu and try again. I think I'm set up correctly, so we're going to go ahead and swap our weapon to the sword. We're going to hit back once. Now, remember, we have to be moving to do the triple jump, so we want to kind of hold the direction of that wall that we were running on, right? So we're going to hold that. I'm going to cancel to close the menu. That's also the jump button. And then I'm going to spam the attack button as I close the menu, and hopefully we'll get the height. So here we go. So yeah, there's the quadruple jump. So we went sky high. So this allows us to skip even more triggers, and using that we can skip Zava without having to do any kind of fancy setup. A couple things to note about this. So let's go ahead and switch our weapon back. The height that you get is completely dependent on how quickly you pause upon doing your second jump. Let me go to the boss layer of this area here. This one is no, it's not Construct. It's Creepers. Okay, yeah, this one. So we've got our door closed here. You can actually just triple jump off the goddess statue here and clip through this. I personally don't find that to be very easy. I tend to hit a rubber band trigger up here, but it is doable. Yeah, I'm not even going to show that off because I am not consistent. But if you watch some of the other runners, they'll do that one. So what I do want to try to show off is the height that we'll get. Let me see. What's a good place to show that? Let's go to the Mantid's chamber here. This is probably a good place to show off the height, because we can just kind of run over here. Okay, so let's see. See how high she went on that one? So let's see if I can pause a little bit slower. Now you'll note when you're facing this direction, it's actually not a downward slash like the other one, so it does depend on which direction Yunica is facing. You'll just have to kind of get used to which animation you're looking for it. Okay, let's see if I got it. Nope. Actually, you know what, it's going to be easier for me to show off probably in Zava's area, just because I'm used to looking at it from the left side. Alright, so let's go to Zava's area here, so let's see. I don't think I'm going to get the height. I think I waited too long to pause it. It's actually really hard to do this now that I've kind of gotten used to pausing almost instantly. Okay, so we got a quadruple on that one. We did get extra height, but you could see from where I paused it was late into the animation. Now let's see if I can get it again with kind of just a YOLO approach and just assume that I got it. Okay, so I got it. So let's see how high we go this time. Yeah, see how much higher she goes when you pause it almost instantly? So that makes a big difference on a couple doors. For Zava Skip, it really doesn't matter. We can just kind of go up here and watch. I'm going to trigger the fight. That'd be funny. All right, so for Zava Skip, we can just kind of get it at any point. We can kind of wait and see that we got the animation. Nope. And so you can see there are some times where it looks like I get everything right and I still don't get the height, and that's just, I think, attributed to the PC version of this game being kind of funky. So as a PC runner, it's just something you're going to have to live with. Alright, so we got the height. So once you get the height, then you're going to pause it again, and then you're going to swap to your wind. And once you cancel, we don't have to hold the direction of the wall anymore. Now we can just cancel and immediately start using our wind magic to go up past the trigger. And we skip Zava entirely. So most of the tech for this game after that is just using various combinations of that. I want to go to the Guilty Fire door. Unfortunately, I think I have to start from the Guilty Fire 1 save. Or I'm sorry, not the Blighted Blood. That's normal. Where's my easy save? Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip all the leveling and stuff. Normally we would do a little dance and kill these guys and get some levels. I just want to get to a specific door. Oop, well, yeah, that's what happens when you, you know, don't follow your rhythm. Cool. Alright, we're alright. I will take a second here. I'm gonna try to get a level up real quick so I don't die doing this. Normally you would come down here and hit the switch. Again, it only takes a couple seconds, and a lot of times you can kill this guy for EXP. But if you want, you could just triple jump up over this. Using kind of the wall run principle helps you. Yep, so it just goes right over. And then kind of same thing here. You can just go up and over that. Ideally you won't get hit on that second one if you get enough height. But you don't have to hit that switch at all. Alright, so we're going to go over here to the, I think this is the Crimson key door. There's a couple other things to talk about with the quadruple jump on this door. So if you're going to try to skip this, this one saves about 2 minutes from going to get the key, so it is worth skipping, definitely. But it's a lot harder than some of the other skips. So in this case, we want to angle our thumbstick so that we're getting the extra height here. So you'll see if I just kind of run, yeah, she just kind of hits barely the top. But if you get the right angle, she jumps kind of up over it like that. That's the angle that you want. Now we want to do a quadruple jump. But again, when you're doing the quadruple jump, it depends on when you pause. So you want to do your second jump and then pause almost immediately for this door. You need to get a lot of height for this one. Okay, so we got our height. You can kind of tell when you get the height when the screen just kind of, or the camera just kind of immediately shifts, you know, really rapidly up. So I know I've got the height. Now, I'm going to first try and demonstrate if I just use the thumbstick to the left and then up, what happens. Most likely I will rubber band back to place, and you'll see that. So cancel, and then we're just going to go left and up. See how it snapped me back to the wall? A lot of times, when you approach these doors, you want to do it kind of from straight on. So rather than go left to up, it's actually better in this door's case to go diagonal down left first and then up. The other thing is that there's often a trigger if you go too far into the door. So if you keep pressing up, you'll actually just get forced back through the wall again. So if you want to clip through this door, you want to kind of go diagonal down left and then straight up, and then as you clear the wall, just drop. Obviously, you need to make sure that you go through the wall and you don't just drop in front of the door here. But you don't want to keep forcing your way forward. So now let's see if I can get the height again, and then we'll just go through this door this time. Nope. Getting the height's actually the hard part on this door. I thought I had it that time. Of course, now I'm going to struggle getting the height. Okay, I think I got the height this time. So now we're going to try diagonal down and then up, and I'm going to try to drop just on the other side of the door. See? Right through. So that's a big thing that I was that I didn't see written down anywhere, and I had to ask in the Discord chat about. The same will apply to the door coming up. Again, you want to kind of use this right wall better than I am. You can see that I was getting little bits of boosts here and there. You want to try to get as much as you can out of that wall. Now, typically, you'll come over here and you'll get your Cleria ore off to the right, and you'll use a triple jump to do it. It's kind of dangerous. A lot of times I'll go off to the left and save first, but essentially you just come down here and do your triple jump up here. Oh, I'm going to get killed just going there. You know, I didn't really want to show that off. That's fairly straightforward. You just do a triple jump to get that. What I do want to show off is this door up here, which is very much the same as the last one we just looked at. Assuming I don't get absolutely murdered here, I might have to load my other save. Always fun doing these random, you know, showcases of how to do things. Alright, cool. Yeah. So this door is very much the same thing. You want to find the right angle, so that you're getting extra height. You can see if I just kind of jump straight up against a wall, or straight up against a wall, or if I go here, you get a lot more height. So you want to get the height, and then just do your quadruple jump again. Okay, got the height. Now this one I think I can just do left and up, and again, same thing, you don't want to force your way up too far. Yeah, so just a left and an up, and you'll go right through. Really the last thing to talk about in this area is Mantid's chamber, which is, again, very much the same thing. It's just a, come over here to this wall. If you run straight into it, you just kind of get, like, this ledge, a little over this ledge for height. But if you're at kind of an up-left angle, she'll jump quite a bit higher. That's what you want. This is a really good spot to practice because it's safe. There aren't really any enemies. And this one's actually one of the more forgiving doors to go over. So, same thing. Just quadruple jump over this one. Nope. This one you kind of actually wait and kind of see your animation. This one you want her to swing to the right towards the door. Oh, I had it. My bad. I don't think I got it on that one. Nope. Nope. I'm going too late on this, and you can tell because I'm getting that second that swing animation. There we go. I don't know if I got the height though. Okay, I got the height. So this one is much like the other door. Once you get it, you can just wind to the right and then straight up, and you'll go right over. You don't want to hold up, otherwise you will rubber band back through the door. For the Mantid, we just want to triple jump over his trigger. This one, I like to pause to make sure that I got the triple jump. If you're really confident in it, you can just YOLO triple jump and then wind. However, if you don't get it, you will absolutely trigger the Mantid, and that sucks. So we'll just try to get a triple jump. Oh, not even close. Okay, got it. So now we're just going to spin a couple times and you're over. Hey buddy, see ya. There is a cutscene up here that you can skip. It's pretty straightforward. It's just running along this wall, get that speed boost and do a triple jump. It's only worth trying once. If you don't get it and you hit the cutscene, okay, you lose a little bit of time. It's not really worth doing a setup for trying to do a quadruple jump over or anything like that. I won't even try because I'm sure I'm going to fail it. But yeah, you just kind of run along that and do your triple jump, and you'll jump right over it. So if we go back to our Silent Sands at the Creeper here, I mentioned about... Oh, wrong one. That door's already open. So I mentioned about this door here, about using the goddess statue. You can also do a quadruple jump off the goddess statue, same exact thing, and then when you get it, just do a diagonal down and then straight. I find that to be easier than trying to go for the straight triple jump over it. I've only got the triple jump maybe once or twice. Every other time I've always rubber banded. I think it's kind of a tight positioning for it. You really got to be on the apex of the statue when you get the triple jump. And of course I got to get the triple jump. Yeah. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, this isn't gonna happen. Yeah. I've definitely not practiced at this. I can't even get the triple jump now. Jeez. Alright. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Anyway, you can also quadruple jump from the ground level up over the door. It's a little bit harder to do because you need to pause pretty quickly, almost instantly, when you get the second jump. I don't know that I'll spend a lot of time doing this, but if you want to just kind of come running up here, you can do your triple jump or quadruple jump rather. Oop. If you get it, no. gosh. For some reason, this one seems harder for me to get. For this door, I typically still just go get the key. For me, it's a little bit faster to just do a consistent triple jump up on the wall in the room with the key, and then just come back. This is one area that I still need to practice a lot for my run. Okay, I got it, but I don't think I got enough height because I don't think I paused soon enough. Yeah, see, I didn't get enough height. So you have to pause almost immediately. You pretty much have to YOLO this and assume that you got it. So as soon as you hit it, before you even see what animation you get, just pause. And if you get it, see how much more height I got. I didn't win, so I didn't clear the door, but I would have cleared the door in that case. Let's see. So with the door open, let's talk about this guy here. So if you want to be safe, you can do this just like the Mantis, where you just kind of start down here and do a triple jump. And once you see that you get the triple jump, yeah, gosh, yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, once you see you get the triple jump, then you can just wind over the trigger for this guy. It is quite a bit faster, though, to not go for the triple jump and go for the wall run. All you need to clear this trigger is just a wall run along this wall and a double jump. You want to jump when you hit about this step here. So once you hit this, you'll do your first jump and then just jump again, and you should go right over the trigger as long as you're riding this wall and getting the run speed. If you're not getting the run speed and you don't have the right angle, you will just do a regular double jump with no extra height, and you will hit the trigger. So it is definitely advised as a new runner to save before doing that, regardless of how you get past that door below. Or if you want to just play it safe, just go for the triple jump. You'll clear it every time, assuming that you get the triple jump. So we'll see if I can get it. Oh, not getting the wall. I feel like I'm not getting the speed. Okay, no, I got it. Okay. Oh, I did not get it. Okay. Yeah, see, and that's why you either save or just do a triple jump. You absolutely don't want to fight this guy. You'll lose so much time. And if you save, you can just get yourself wrecked. Or you can quit out of the application and reload it that way. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Really? Again? I definitely had the run speed that time, but I must have lost the angle before I jumped. Brutal. Oh, you gotta love these impromptu videos. Goodness gracious. Alright, try again. I want to get this at least once. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So that's it. When you get it right, it's that easy. When you get to this room, there's a cutscene. It's actually fairly lengthy here, so this one's actually worth kind of setting up for. It's a little awkward, though, because to get the right height, you really kind of need to be running at a diagonal here. And if you're not careful, you'll kind of diagonal your way up to the edge there and go up into the stairs. The trigger's at the very base of the stairs there. I believe you can get it running to the right here. I think that's how most runners get it. And I think you can also get it with just a triple jump, but I find the quadruple jump a lot more consistent for myself. So again, you just kind of diagonal and then get another triple jump here. Oh, let's see here. No. Okay. So you can kind of see that she rocketed off to the left, so I know I've got the height, so now I'm just going to switch to wind and just scoot my way right off screen, and we skip the cutscene. Alright, so there isn't a whole lot more to talk about on a lot of these. If we go to the Epona 2 fight, I think it's this one here. Yeah, so if we go to the Epona 2 fight, this door is very much like the Crimson Key door, right? So we just kind of go to this corner here, and you can get some extra height. You can kind of see when you have that angle, you just gotta jump around until you find that angle. It's usually somewhere between the straight up and right animation of Yunica. Yeah, there we go. So. This one also requires you to pause very quickly after, without really waiting to see if you got the animation. Nope. Oh, I had it. Well, yeah. So you want to get enough height that you go off the screen, and then you just, again, and I think in this case you do have to do the diagonal down left and then up again. Okay, I got height, but I don't know if it's enough. We're gonna just do diagonal down and up. No, it wasn't enough. See, it really does make a huge difference whether you pause immediately or if you wait to see the animation. So if you're going to try to skip this door, you really have to pause as soon as you make your jump and just kind of hope that you get it. And some of that will just come with consistency. I recommend doing some of the easier doors first. Before you go to this door, the Crimson Key door, yeah. The Mantid really is the one to practice for just a standard quadruple jump. It's very forgiving. I'll try one more time on this. I'll see if I can get it. Got height. I don't know if that's the right height, though. Let's try. Yep. Okay. So there you go. We got it. Let's see. We're gonna go to the Devil's Throne. So for this one's just kind of simple, like the that Rico door skip that we started, that we did way back at the beginning of the run. What we're gonna do is clip through the wall here and then just kind of jump up over this door. So we're going to line ourselves up with the dot right here on the floor. You see right in front of Yunica's foot there? We want to kind of be just kind of stepping on it. And then we want to use a downward attack to renormalize our position. And then we want to do a D-pad diagonal up towards the door and then just jump. And of course I miss it. Excellent. I think you want your foot to be covering it. Yeah, so... Nope. Oh my goodness. There we go. So, yeah, so you just kind of run up towards the door, diagonal, and jump through. Once you're through it, now you can do a double jump, and then you want to just kind of move just a little bit to the left and a little bit up each time. Whoops. We fell through the door. Amazing. Alright. Try it again. Okay. You can run up that. Yeah, you see I fell through the door that time. You can run up that. I have not been able to find the right angle, so I usually just do the double jump and then tap left and up. You don't want to go too far left or you'll clip back into bounds. So yeah, just kind of tap left just a little bit and up, and you'll hit the next part of the ledge. And just do that a couple times until you're up through, and then you can go to your Kishgal fight here. I think the very last thing to talk about, and I probably am not going to get an example of it in this video just because I'm so inconsistent with it, is the Rado's Annex skip. So we're going to go ahead and use this file. So if you're going to do the Rado's Annex skip, obviously you're not going to come up here to Rado's Annex. Rather than do that, you're going to go to the left side of the screen to this door over here. And this is where I like to turn on the analog as digital, and that's because for the setup to get ourselves on top of the torch here, we really want a straight diagonal input. Now you can use your D-pad for that. I find it still to be, I don't know, inconsistent. So For me, it's just easier to, while I'm doing this trick, to turn that on, and then as soon as I clear the door, I gotta make sure that I turn it back off. I'm only going to give this a couple attempts. I want to at least get up on the torch to show you that setup, and then I'll talk about the positioning for the rest of the trick. But essentially what we need to do is we need to triple jump up onto this torch here, and then from that torch we want to do a quadruple jump, and then we're just going to, once we get the height from the quadruple jump, and it actually is one of the more forgiving ones, you don't have to pause immediately, although you only get 1, maybe 2 attempts per landing on the torch up here, before you have to do that again. But once you get your quadruple jump, then you just want to, I believe, whirlwind left and then straight. I don't know that you even need to necessarily whirlwind straight the second time. I think you can just go left and then kind of hook straight and you'll go through the door. But yeah, let's go ahead and try to get up on the torch. So to do that, we want to position ourselves so that Unica's shadow, her foot is on the shadow of this second set of stairs here. So not quite there, that's a little too high. We want to be, yeah, right about here. This is where we want to be. You want to be all the way to the left, and then you want to use a down jump to normalize your position. Make sure you get the down jump and not the twirl. You want to actually get it on the down. Yeah, so that normalizes your position. So while I'm doing that, then I switch to my diagonal input straight towards the torch, and then we're going to do a triple jump and hopefully land on the torch. Yeah, it's going to take me a while to get this triple jump, I'm sure. Alright, cool. So if you get the triple jump, you can actually continue holding that up right diagonal, and you'll just continue to walk onto the wall here. Now, this does not work once you let go of the directional input, so if I let go of that, I'll stay on the torch, but if I try to go diagonal up right again, chances are I'm just going to slide right off the torch, so we're not going to do that. So once you're up on the torch here, again, now the next step is we have to do a quadruple jump to get enough height to clear this door. So we are going to use just a straight D-pad up input into the wall. We don't have to do any angles or anything like that. You can just jump straight into the wall and just do your quadruple jump inputs. Again, you only really get one shot at this, or you have to go up on the torch again, which is why I don't want to sit here for this whole video and do it. If you watch the world record or my run, both of us get this trick within a couple attempts. You'll definitely want to practice on some of the easier doors before coming to this one here. So I'll give it 1 or 2 attempts from the torch and see, and then I'm just going to open the door and move on. But I don't think that I got the second jump, but we're going to see. No, I did not. So if you see you got the wrong one, you can try to switch back and try to land back on the torch. You're almost never going to. Once in a while you'll land on the torch and you'll get a second attempt. So let's try it again. Okay, so we landed on the torch. So I saw that I didn't get the right jump. The jump we want to see in this case when we're running straight up is like the Mantid. We want to see her slash to the right. That, right there. That's the jump we want to see. So if we don't see that, we know we didn't get our triple jump, and we can either just fall or try to land back on the torch again without even trying to execute. Again, I don't know that I'm going to get this in this run, or in this tutorial video. This is actually a very difficult trick to get. It takes me anywhere from 3 to 9 minutes to get this usually, and if you get this, it actually saves, I think, 12 minutes over doing Rado's Annex, so it is actually very worth doing. But again, very difficult trick. You need to be comfortable with both the triple jump and the quadruple jump, which, whereas the timings are the same, it's the same technique, for whatever reason, it actually feels like 2 different techs. The timing for each feels completely different. And yeah, now of course I'm going to struggle with the triple jump. So if you're not lined up quite right, or if you bonk the torch or anything like that, you'll need to come back here and reset your position, otherwise you'll just slide right off. That's always fun when you finally get the triple jump. Cool. Alright, so I got the animation. I don't know if I'll get the height, but we're gonna try. I did get the height. Cool. So you'll see when I unpaused it, I immediately hit my attack button, and then I paused it basically as soon as I noticed that I got the height. So I kind of once again just assume that I'm gonna get the height and try to pause it again. And you know, if you don't get it, great, whatever. You just unpause and go on about the trick. But we did get the height. So now we're going to go ahead and equip our wind. We're going to do that, and I'm going to just try to do a single wind to the left, and then just wind up, but I'm not going to hold up the whole time. And go right through the door. Sweet! So we did get it. Amazing. So yeah, now we're in this room. So this room, you can save about a minute over my time by coming over here to the right. So I think in my PB, I go up and I get the key, and then I go off to the left, and I do this kind of the vanilla way. There is a trick where you do the triple jump off of this wall, and you can get enough height to reach the ramp up above. Don't forget, by the way, when you come into this room, if you're doing it my way, to turn off your analog as digital. Because you need to be able to get that run speed. So, I really struggle with getting this triple jump, which is why I haven't implemented it in a run yet. But it can be done. So you just kind of run up, do your triple jump. We'll give it a couple tries here. Oh gosh. Yep, here we go. We're gonna struggle with the triple. But you can see you're getting the extra height. So once you get it, oh my goodness! Once you get it, you want a whirlwind, and then you'll get up there. Oh goodness. There we go. Now you don't have to hook to the right. I tend to, because if you're not careful, you can very easily just overshoot this ledge and just fall right back down, and that really stinks. So I tend to just take the extra couple seconds to do the screen transition. But yeah, you can do the triple jump up here. The other thing you can do to get up here that I've started doing in practice, I have not, again, implemented into a run yet, but you can sit right about here and just do a quadruple jump off of this wall here. So we can just kind of sit in the corner and do... Let's see if I can get it. Okay, so I got the height. Once you get the height, then you just transition, and again, you're just going to wind up and kind of to the right. And you'll land right up on there as well. That may be much more consistent for people who struggle with the triple jump, just because each time that you fail, you don't have to sit there and kind of trudge through the sand to get back up here. The other reason I haven't implemented this into a run yet is that this is actually very tricky to get the right angle and momentum going off of here. So you want to kind of come over here. Right about here, you want to jump up and then whirlwind over, and then you get your treasure over here, your Cleria ore. So if you implement that over what I did in my run, you'll save probably about 45 seconds or so. And I mentioned that I don't like to skip the door to Khonsclard. I have a really hard time doing it. For me, I find this room is much more consistent to just come up here and do a triple jump in. And of course, again, I'm going to struggle with it here, because why not? There we go. For whatever reason, I find that a lot easier than trying to skip that door, either with a triple, quadruple. It's, for whatever reason, just getting this medallion is still a time save for me. I need to spend a lot more time workshopping that other room and see if I can figure out what my problem is. So yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to cover in my tutorial, or in my tips and tricks for Yunica. You know, we talked about the move speed and some of the attacks, the triple and quadruple jump. Let's see, is there anything else we want to talk about? Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's about it. So there is a couple more skips we can do too. So at the end of the Epona 2 fight, that's normal. Where's my easy save? Yeah, this will do it. So after you finish Epona 2, and you're coming back, you can clip down through here. It's kind of the same as it was in the sands there, where you want to line Yunica up kind of about the halfway with the first shadow on this set of stairs. And then you want to just kind of face her to the right, and then just double jump and whirlwind to the left. And if you're in the right position, you'll just clip right through. And of course I wasn't in the right position, but we'll try again. Nope. So if you're too high, you'll kind of get pushed up. If you're too low, you'll get pushed down. If you're not quite right, then you may just kind of bonk and stay in the center there. There you go. Yeah. I haven't found a way to make that perfectly consistent yet, so I usually give it a couple tries in a run, and if it's just not sticking, then I'll just do the walk of shame down through the bridge and over. You can also skip up to that section. So when you first come down here, you can get rid of these guys, just get them out of your way, they're really annoying. You don't actually need your boost for this. It can help a little bit, and especially if you don't get it on the first try, then having the boost will help. But all you need to do for this is just kind of jump. And again, this is another section where I'll use the D-pad just to hold a constant direction. But you want to jump and then just kind of spam, and you'll clip right through the bridge. So you can save all that. Unfortunately, you can't just jump down that way. So if you want to get down, you still have to use either the walk, or you'll have to come up here and just kind of line yourself up again. That was too high. Yep. So when you tap right, if Yunica gets nudged up or down, you're not in the right position. Yeah. So like I said, I usually give it 1 or 2 tries in a run. If it's just not sticking, I will move on. Yeah. So that looked like it should have been right, but it didn't push me through. So. There we go. Yeah. So yeah. Hopefully you've enjoyed my tutorial, and hopefully that'll help you, learn some of the tricks and make sense of some of the things that you see that may not be quite as obvious when you're watching a run. I hope this encourages new runners. Yunica is actually a crazy fun run, despite some of the inconsistencies of the tricks and things like that. Most of the bosses are in fact a suggestion. Most of the doors are a suggestion. Yeah, there's a lot you can do with the triple and the quadruple jump. And I apologize for not necessarily being more organized in this, but yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps. Take care.